Okay.
And we were filming for Impact, but it was off location. Like it was like a single, like just a match we were filming for the show, like off location. And my wife brought the 7, the 3, and the 1-year-old, and we were in the U.S. and I wasn't thinking I was going to be as over as I was, but it was just in Detroit, and it was crazy the reaction I got, and my kids got to see it and stuff, and just watch me wrestle, and they still don't understand. Like they probably think like every dad's is a professional wrestler, like it's no big deal. But yeah, I mean it's a different world. I always used to put wrestling first, like wrestling's been my life, and now it's sorry to say, but like my kids come first now. My family. It's just I'm in a different mind frame. I'm much older than when I first came in here. Like getting hurt before, it was just it would affect me. Now it affects my family.
You have other responsibilities.
Yeah, so
I can't wait for career day though at the school, and maybe one of the kids will want to bring dad to the school.
Yeah, show up with my wrestling outfit. Well, when my 7-year-old was in Disneyland, Gaston from Beauty and the Beast dropped down to one knee and proposed to my 7-year-old, and she said, I don't know, like, because she goes, we gotta ask, maybe you should ask your dad, and he's like, well, my daddy might beat you up because he's Petey Williams.
That's hysterical. So Petey, what's it been like this time around for you in Impact Wrestling and the talent that you have here going on?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, myself, it's been different because I know this is my last run. Like I thought my last one was my last run, and now I know for sure, you don't come back too many times, and this is my last run. So all the time, I'm just like before, it just went by so quick. I wasn't stopping and soaking it in and enjoying the moment, and now I'm just like having fun and just really just enjoying myself the best I can, and just trying to do whatever I can to elevate this young talent. I mean, I was here when they pretty much started in the glory days of the X Division, so I would just love to give anybody that I can a rub and just elevate them to the next level.
Petey, are you okay mentioning some of the talent so far that you've had an eye on or worked with, helped out, that's here now?
Yeah, just in the X Division. I mean, I know Matt Seidel's been everywhere and stuff like that, but I would say he's a leader of the X Division as well. But he's always made his name else places. I've been here since the beginning, but I look at guys like like Desmond Xavier and like Trevor Lee and like even Ishimori and stuff like that. Like there's all the guys like DJZ, Andrew Everett, like all those guys are just extreme phenomenal talent. I just hope that when I wrestle them, they could carry my old butt through a match. So yeah.
I don't know, Petey, about that now. Come on.
No, it's all good, man. No, a lot of talent here, and I even like in the heavyweight division. Like I look at guys like Eli Drake. Like, man, he's just got this cool factor about him that's really like he's portrayed as a superstar. Like just everybody, the guys they're building up and stuff like that, like Brian Cage and everything. Like Eddie.
An agile monster, basically. Yeah. The Cage. Jeez.
Then
hybrid.
Yeah. So, all good talent. Can't say, even the women's division. When I look at like, even like Tessa Blanchard just came here. She obviously came here for a reason, because we're doing something special. And I look at her, and she's just so phenomenal in the ring for that women's talent. And just the characters that we have, like Rosemary and Sue Young, like, they just tell great, like with their character, they know their character and stuff like that, and just building it. It's all great stuff.
It's a combination too. I mean, different types of talents. It's not all the same thing. You get a variety of different talents and all here.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't want to be generic wrestler A and B. You know what I mean? You have to have some sort of, you have to have the talent to back up your character as well, and you got to know your character for it to portray, come off on TV. I remember back in the day when we came up with the Maple Leaf Muscle character. They wanted to make sure that not only when you're cutting your promos in the back, but when you're in the ring, that character has to also show in the ring. You can't revert back to you have to show character. So it just focusing on all that kind of stuff too.
All right, Petey, we'll wrap this up, and thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Love the move, the Canadian Destroyer. It's just, anytime anything on the internet is ever there and they say like, hey, what's the best move, what's this move? And my comment is always, Canadian Destroyer, How did that evolve? How did that come up to be able to do something like that?
I mean, I did it in a match 15 years ago to Matt Seidel. And then from there, it started getting really hot and stuff like that, and I was just always using it, and nobody would really ever use it as well. And then when I retired 3 years ago, it just seemed like everybody on every single show, everywhere, every independent across the world, is using the move. And,
what a compliment.
Yeah, it's like I do take it as a compliment, but then you have a lot of other wrestlers are like, man, everybody just stopped doing the Canadian Destroyer. Like everybody's doing it, they're treating it like a headlock. Like
so right now it becomes like a regular move.
Yeah, and it's just
special.
And just to have something that I created and established and stuff like that, just to make it to around the world, like Japan, like that's all the way on the other side of the world. Like it's just amazing that everybody knows it and stuff, and I know that when people look at it, they're like, oh, that was Petey Williams. No matter what, and it's gonna be like that forever. So, but when I came back, it seemed like, oh, Petey's back now, and I don't see it anymore. And people are, it's still around, and other people do it, but it's not as they're like, oh, Petey's back, so now I don't want to be a knockoff of Petey. He's not retired anymore.
Petey Williams. Now you didn't come back because of that, but that's nice. All right, so being from Canada, NHL playoffs are going on. Is Petey Williams a hockey fan?
Yeah, Toronto's my team. They're playing tonight, right?
Are they playing tonight? I don't know if they're playing tonight. Are they playing Boston?
Yeah,
is
they're
that the
playing
series of Boston
Game 7? Yeah.
It might be tonight. It might be tonight.
I'm pretty sure it's tonight, so I'll be keeping an eye on that during the tapings if I can. I'll be busy here and stuff.
Did you have a favorite player? Aren't the Sardine brothers on Toronto? Is that right or no? Do I have the wrong team?
My favorite player was always, like growing up, like Grant Fuhr.
Oh, God.
Like he played for Edmonton.
Yeah.
And then that's when they had like the Wayne Gretzky's and Mark Messier's and stuff like that. And then he got traded to Toronto. So that's how I kind of like moved from Edmonton to Toronto. And then Grant Fuhr left Toronto, but then Felix Potvin came. So Felix Potvin was like my all-time favorite. And then I just stuck with Toronto, and I'm
Did you play any hockey?
No.
Okay.
My parents were too broke for that. I mean, it's hockey's an expensive sport. Kids grow up, and you're always every year you got to get new equipment and stuff. Even secondhand equipment's expensive. So, but yeah, I would play hockey on the pond with just my skates and stuff, or road hockey. With whatever. Like we were playing hockey all the time.
Will your kids play hockey for fun?
That's a good possibility.
It's a good sport.
Yeah, no, I love it, and it's like a great Canadian pastime, So it's just, but no, I love hockey. It's something else. I remember watching Hockey Night in Canada with my dad. That's how I got introduced to it when I was like very young, and we watched it every Saturday night when I was with him. So
that was the Monday Night Football in America, was Hockey Night in Canada.
Yeah, with Don Cherry and Ron McLean. Yeah, so. Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories. So I'm hoping before I die, Toronto wins a Stanley Cup. I think it's been since the 60s since they've won it, so.
And there are a lot of hockey fans that are into the wrestling, so maybe Petey will get to drink out of that cup if they do win it.
You know what, and this is what upsets me. My wife, Chris Chelios, lives around in the Detroit area, right? And
from the Red Wings, right?
Yeah, my wife got to take a picture with the Stanley Cup. She's not even that big of a hockey fan. She took a picture with the Stanley Cup and Chris Chelios, and I'm like, I hate you. Like that's when the Wings won the cups back, some years ago.
Yeah, when they had those great teams.
Yeah.
The Wings had some really strong teams. Oh, that's great. Well, I'm glad that didn't break up the marriage, Petey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thanks for having me.